today we're going to be looking at Ayden and his gameplay and see how exactly he 1v4s. Now in this situation he is doing a trios versus quads situation. This was for a 100k tournament, but the way these guys do it is they usually get they usually get in a trios lobby and then they'll split up and try to kill as many people 1v4 as they can. So we'll be looking at this content specifically in an urban area and also in up in the hills, so you can kind of figure out exactly how to create the 1v4s and actually win 1v4s. And it's not just about winning a 1v4, guys. This will help you in 1v1, 1v2s, every kind of situation imaginable, because this is the hardest possible situation you will find yourself in Call of Duty. So let's get right into it. So I want to go ahead and stop it real quick. We want to take a look at the mini-map here and just kind of get a layout of the scenario that's about to unfold. So these are the kind of things these players think about in a split second. Right, when you're looking at 4 people, where do you want to land? How do you want to create a situation where you can kill all 4 members of the team without any backup at all? Well, the first scenario is looking at the minimap. Now, the minimap gives you information. Information is the most important aspect of this game. He specifically targets this building because this building would allow him to get beamed by all 3 of these guys, okay? And if he goes across, his helicopter might actually take too much damage, so he wants to create a situation where he's actually going to funnel these guys into a channel heading into this building. This situation, a lot of us, what we would have done, and I try to put this in a perspective of a non-pro player because, hello, Ayden is not just a pro player, he's probably one of the best in the game. Ayden never panics, and what he does here is crucial. At this very moment, he turns around and boom, what does he see? Everything. He sees literally everything, and he gets extra information with this loadout. He has a guy here, he has a guy back here, somewhere over here he was getting shot at, and then he has 2, one in this direction and one on loadout, and this gives you insane amounts of information, right? You might think, oh well, now he just knows where he's going to die from. No. This guy at loadout, he may stick around for loadout. This loadout looks kind of new, right? And this guy over here will probably go to loadout before coming to help this teammate here. So what does that tell him? It tells him he can create at least a 1v2 situation before the fight even starts. Now he has to capitalize on this, and we'll see exactly what he does. He chooses not to peek that corner because he knows he has 2 people ground floor probably staring right at that corner. And he does something a lot of us will not do, but I'll go ahead and let him play this out just so we can see exactly what he does.
I need another UAV if possible. I'll get you one. Okay, you got it. Nice. Whoa, no.
Downs and full kills one guy. He's expecting the other guy around this corner. And he creates 1v1 situations using cover. Baits this guy into a bad situation also, and boom, just like that, it's a 1v1. He turned a 1v4 into 1v1. And the last guy is just kind of being stubborn around this corner. He probably looks at the kill feed or something, realizes this is Ayden, he's just running away. Like, you gotta, he was low on health. A lot of us think of a 1v4 as an impossible situation. Right here, he goes and thinks about peeking, but then realizes, I don't need to peek. I've already used the helicopter to get a lay of the land. And when you look at the situation here, he knows exactly what's going to happen. These guys are just going to slowly funnel into the building. What does he do? He goes downstairs instead of challenging from the roof, where there's probably 3 people at least staring at the roof just waiting for him to challenge. So he goes down and he actually becomes takes a little bit of an aggressive stance here. And in this situation, he knows he had a guy in the middle of the street, right? That was the guy shooting at him. So he's going to try and kind of scope out the scene real quick and hopefully get a quick knock, which he does, right? He scans right to left, downs this guy, and boom. He backs up, he takes no damage, and this is so important when doing these kind of situations. You don't want to take any damage at all if you can in the first fight or 2. In the second or third fight, you can take a little bit more damage, but in the first 2 fights, you really, in a 1v4, you really can't afford to take too much time to play it up. He's expecting this other guy around the corner. He never comes. And boom, right here, look at the situation. Okay, I'm going to go back, and this is what I'm talking about creating 1v4s or 1v1s out of 1v4s using cover. the guy actually ends up appearing. If you can see him right here, he's coming on the edge of the screen, trying to flank around this building, and then he has another guy around this corner. So what does he do? Typical of pro players, instead of engaging this guy right here, he actually uses the cover, and you can see it's very simple, guys. He uses this cover to kind of block this guy out, and then it's a 1v1 here. 1v1, boom, dub. Obviously, you have to be able to hit your shots. But he is expecting this guy around the corner. The guy actually goes in, and that's what happens when you get quick knocks like this. You make guys real desperate. He just runs into their guns blazing. He's not expecting him around this corner, so Ayden's able to capitalize that. Downs a guy. The MAC-10 is pretty unstoppable at this point. And now that's a 1v1. You can be aggressive. He doesn't care anymore, right? He's just going to run out into the street and just chase this guy down. He's expecting him around the corner. He never comes. So he's like, okay, well, I don't have to worry about my corners anymore. I can just kind of run out in the middle of the open and just, you know, get the kill on this guy. And just like that, boom, easy. You might be thinking, okay, that was all in nice. He had a bunch of cover and he was able to kill the guys using, you know, walls, and he was in an urban area. How does he fare in the open? Well, it's a similar situation. A 1v4 in these mountains, I mean, how many times have we died in these mountains? There's so many people in the trees, and you're kind of wondering where they are. Your awareness levels are needed in a situation where it's a 1v4 out in the open. You need to have a lot of awareness. You need to be able to know exactly where everybody is or where everybody wants to go. And it's about using your position to outmaneuver the opponents. And I'm going to give you the exact situation of how to do this yourself. A lot of YouTubers don't explain. They'll say like, oh yeah, positioning, that's how you get the win. Positioning, oh yeah, you just got to outposition your opponent. I'm going to show you exactly how, detail exactly how he got this win or on the squad, and how to replicate it. All right, so it's a little blurry here, but just as and the guy's gonna end up being right here. Ayden can see him, but since it's from his stream, it's just a little blurry. This is how it works. If you're struggling with awareness, this is how you kind of do it in this kind of open environment. So first, you scan these trees right here. And these trees are imperative because they're in front of, let's say, this foreground. This is what you call the foreground, right? This is kind of the foreground right here. And this kind of details the exact prioritization of where you want to look. You want to look everything in front of the foreground, and you want to literally forget about anything happening behind, okay? All of the stuff behind is irrelevant until you have checked off the stuff in the front. The way your eyes would move would be these trees here, this kind of cover right here, and then after that you can go ahead and just stare at this line right here as much as you can while you're trying to push up this mountain, or either hug this cover and then push up the mountain that way. And you want to get to the peak, so then you can do the same thing over here and switch to the foreground and background, and that's that general environment. Now let's talk about Ayden's gameplay here. So that was pretty straightforward as far as a kill goes, but the minimap is going to detail exactly how he is able to get the kill on the rest of the people playing here. So Ayden was here. He downed the enemy team over here somewhere. So if you are these guys right here, and this is, you know, they show up on the UAV. If you're these guys right here, they're going, and Call of Duty is known to be a very casual game as far as shooters are concerned. It's, you know, a lot of the Call of Duty players, I'm going to say it, are pretty like predictable, right? They're just going to kind of run straight at the X, because in multiplayer, that's what you do. You just run straight at where the enemy shot last. And Ayden knows this. That's why he takes a very pointed maneuver. And I'm going to put this green here just to show the maneuver. He's just going to kind of come over here, shield up. And then these guys are going to be like left clueless. Oh, where'd he go? He's not here anymore. And then they're going to die. And that's kind of what he does. That's also what he did a lot for his record-breaking video. I can detail later as well if you want to break that down one by one. He did a lot more ambush tactics on that video. But look at the situation. I mean, it's insane, right? So he does exactly what I said he does, right? It's very simple. He just maneuvered from his death point here, over here, and then back around. And the enemy did not do anything but just a straight dash at their dead end. Oh, where'd our buddy go? Oh my God, there's loot there. Let me look at it. And what ends up happening is Ayden gets basically 1-2 people in front of his eyesight, and their backs are facing him. And this is how you see all the time players, you know, they get in the comments, they're like, oh, I wish my enemies would shoot back. Well, you need to outflank your enemies before you can, you know, kill them without even getting shot at. And that guy actually ends up shooting at him, takes a decent amount of damage, but these guys are already on their back heels. They're one self-res away from, you know, getting absolutely clobbered, and they do. Boom. Simple as that. That's how you 1v4. Now, in this situation, he has 4 people in this little kind of box at the top here, and he's just hoping one guy will peek at once. 2 end up peeking at the same time. He has no cover. He's in a bad situation. He says he's dead because he thought the other guy would push, and then he says he's a lot better because he already knows he won this.
Couple guys storage. I'm gonna probably go that way.
Is everyone safe? Can I buy myself self?
Yeah.
Okay.
See, Ayden already knows that he's got these guys beat, even though there's 3 people left. I mean, how confident is that guy, right?
How is he shredding me like that?
He doesn't worry about getting the down or getting the final kill. He just downs the guy. If they self-res, that's fine.
I get one, hold on. I'm busting.
So guys, that was the video. Let me know any other player you want me to kind of analyze or dissect, or any kind of tactics you want to dissect. Ayden, in my opinion, he's a top 5, top 3, maybe the best in the world. Who knows? There's so many good Call of Duty players out there. I'm not going to say who's better or not. But if you like this kind of content, please comment below. Let me know what you think, what kind of your play style is. I want to get a little pick of your brain as to what makes these pro players so good. And, you know, again, if you want to support, go ahead and like, comment, or at least subscribe here so we can get some more content coming. Thank you. Bye-bye.